Hey, this is Politics with Laura. You come to the right place if you want to deal with politics, geopolitics, wars. I talk about it here, and I use international news, not just the fake news. No, I use the real news. So, check out my videos. You won't be sorry. Yes, I'm in the brick room. We're going to get down to some stuff here. Now, I've been looking at the news and other content creators, and there's some good stuff that I see. But one thing I haven't seen, or it may be out there, this hasn't come across my view, is that what Russia and the country I can't name, or the people in that country I can't name, and that's how I'm going to address them, because YouTube says I can't say it. Now, what's going on in a country that I can't name, we have to simply take what they say is going on there, because there's no journalists there. It's only what the country I can't name's military says what's going on. Now, I made other videos talking about the geopolitical situation, what's going on there, and this is just a little poof before the bang comes. The country I can't name is still trying to become part of NATO, and NATO has rejected them again. The way it was set up back in the 40s, like I said before, it wasn't. They were supposed to be neutral countries. Now Poland was supposed to be a neutral country, but jumped with NATO, and now Poland is talking about, hey, NATO, I'm going to need some of your weapons. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need that, because I want to get prepared, because I believe Putin's going to come on over here and mess with me, when that hasn't been the case. Russia or Putin has no dealings with Poland at all. It's just the country next to him, next to Putin or next to Russia, to where they were supposed to stay neutral, and was asked, look, please don't do this, because you're supposed to be neutral. Yugoslavia was supposed to be neutral. Lithuania was supposed to be neutral. What's that other country's name? Luxembourg was supposed to be neutral. You have all these countries that were supposed to be neutral, and now they jumped on NATO. And Russia's like, okay, this is not how it was supposed to happen. But when a country that I'm not going to name decided, okay, I'm going to forget about the Warsaw Pact Agreement. Forget about that. That right there is old. And no, it still stood. No. You were supposed to be the neutral country to keep capitalism or U.S. NATO from Russian borders. But then you want to turn around and say, hey, NATO, let's go ahead and... No. It wasn't supposed to happen like that. So, it's easy to sit there and say that, what's going on, one person's evil, the other person is innocent. No, there's nothing innocent about the situation. Nothing whatsoever. Now, in a country I can't name, there were some political people that had a political interest in the country that I can't name. And not only political, but financial. And once they were able to successfully destabilize that country that I can't name, then it was easy for Victoria Nuland. Yes, Victoria Nuland. The U.S. has everything to do with the destabilization of the country that I can't name. And here I am, in the country that destabilized it, and now I can't name the country that I can't name by name. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't. It's so wild and outrageous. Now, I say all that to say, I just went on my little soapbox rant. Robert D. Kaplan. I got this info from Namibia in Africa. And I work very hard not to use mainstream, what can I say, mainstream news, because it's going to be filtered with some mistruths and hiccups and all this other stuff. They come back a week later, oh, I retract. Now they don't even retract it. They just keep that lie out there and just keep it moving. But he said some rather interesting things. He said, sometimes the news cycles constitutes more than just noise. It provides a loud, uncanny signal about what may lie beyond the horizon. Powerful. I thought that was powerful. Because if you think about what's going on, what lies behind it? If the country I cannot name, if they would have, or if the president who was told by President Bennett from Israel, look, make the deal, stop killing your people, because you're killing your people, just stop. Make the deal with Putin, and it would all go away. But that's not what the president of the country I can't name did. He continued on. He continued on. Whomever, in my other videos, I named the person that backed him to make him to become president. There were some other factors, some oligarchs that had an interest in that president of the country I can't name to be president, because he had zero, and can I say some more? Zero political knowledge. You can simply say, yeah, Donald Trump was a businessman, but he had a lot to do with politics. He did. A businessman, business and politics go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You need the laws and you need the money. You need the money, you need the laws. They go hand in hand. But however, this president has zero, and now he's considered the wartime darling president, because he's down there with his people, which I think is great. You are supposed to be with the ship. You are. But I thought what Robert Kaplan said just resonated with me, because what is beyond the horizon, and what I see what is behind the horizon, in my opinion, I think Russia is going to take back the land that was once Russia, or shall I say the former Soviet Union when it collapsed. And I think this one city in a country that I cannot name that starts with a K and ends with a V, you know what it is, I can't say it. In my opinion, that has such great significance. There's something about that city right there that Putin really wants to get back. And I believe it has a lot to do with what happened, was it 700 AD, when the first Khazarian Empress Irene, I cannot remember the emperor's name of that area, before the expansion. So that name of that city right there existed then, and it had a lot to do with the Empress Irene in that city. Now, I did previous videos before that, to where you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You can see exactly what Putin's moves are, why he's doing what he's doing. Yeah, most definitely. There is, he's doing these things, and it has a lot to do with that city, and it has a lot to do with Constantinople. I can't remember the name of it. Istanbul. Between that city, Istanbul, and Vatican. You're like, Laura, what are you talking about? What are you talking? There's a lot that is there. What goes beyond the horizon? Putin bringing back the czars. Look up what czar means, and then you'll see where I'm going with that. So, and just to add a little bit of layers to this, he says the Russian President Vladimir Putin's soldiers revealed themselves to be a little more than a mob on the move, having tortured and mistreated the civilians under their control. They abruptly abandoned their positions and literally ran away from advancing the country that I can't name's military forces arrived. There's a lot to this, right there. There's a lot to it. On that, is that what they're really doing, or is that what they're part of the strategy? You don't know. You truly don't know. Putin's ex-KGB. Whenever he does something, he looks down the road. And we look at him as, or what's being reported from that country that has no reporters there. And that's doing well by itself, but now needs a lot of assistance from other countries to assist them. There's a whole lot going on there, right there. And I get the disinformation. I get the propaganda that we're doing well, we're kicking butt, we're doing this, we're doing that. And very well, there are some portions, I most definitely do believe that. But the war hasn't even started. This is just the beginning phases. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more. No, not pretty sure. I know there's going to be a lot more to come. The worst has not begun. This is just the cakewalk. What do you think? There's always something going on around the world, whether if it's in your backyard or someone else's backyard, it's always something. And the only thing that we could do is do the best we can to expose it and to make it better for us around the world. We don't always get it right, but we try. On that note, I would like you to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and then to 1,000. So help me get there, because there's always something going on around the world, and I want you to hear from here first. Thank you for stopping by.